welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new. My name is Kendall and here we talk about all things makeup and all things makeup related. And today I am going to be reviewing the Venice Fling Bailey Sarian Estate Cosmetics palette. If you don't know who Bailey Sarian is, I will have her channel linked down below. In quarantine, I discovered her channel maybe 2 or 3 months ago, and in that 2 or 3 months, I have binge watched every single one of her videos. I'm pretty sure she does she does a video every Monday called Murder Mystery Makeup Mondays, and that's what really got me hooked. I love anything involving true crime. I think it's so interesting, and I was recommended to watch her, and she sits down and does makeup while she talks about true crime, and it's really fun, it's really interesting, and it got me hooked. So a few weeks ago, this palette came out. It is a collaboration with Estate Cosmetics. I had never heard of Estate Cosmetics before. This is my first product by them. I believe they are big in the Ipsy bags. I used to do Ipsy a few years ago. If you don't know what that is, it's you pay a subscription fee every month and they send you a little bag that's filled with sample size products. And I believe if you were like they have different tiers of Ipsy. You have like the base bag, and then they have like the more like luxury bag, and you pay a little more but you get a little more product, and this was one of the items in that bag. I don't have Ipsy, but they did sell this through the Estate website, which is what I did. This palette retails for $30. It was limited edition, but I just checked and they did bring it back, and it is back in stock, but after it sells out this time, I don't know if they're gonna be bringing it back. So if this is something you'd be interested in, I suggest you act on it now. These are the colors that you get. You get 9 shadows, you get 5 shimmers, and then 4 mattes. So this is what the website says about the palette. This limited edition 9-pan eyeshadow palette has all the summer feels. Creamy, blendable, and buildable, these shades are perfect for a beachy day vibe or a hot date night look. Includes matte and shimmer finishes. It's a versatile sunset-inspired palette with pops of color for your every mood. Hyper-pigmented shadows, blendable, buttery, and buildable. But are they though? Now, if I were to just look at this palette and not know that this was a collaboration with Bailey, I would have never guessed that. This doesn't really scream her to me. She said she was working on this collaboration about a year ago, and her channel really picked up when she started doing her murder mystery series. So I feel like if she were to come out with something now, the packaging would look a little bit cooler. But this is nice, and then I really love the colors inside. I think this is a great color selection. This is definitely more of a summery palette, but with, you know, the coronavirus going on, all the launches and makeup got pushed back, so all of like the summer stuff is coming out now, which is fine. You can wear bright colors all year round. Important to note that there's no refunds given on limited edition items, which this is, so if you do decide to order this palette and you end up not liking it, you can't send it back, so that's just something to consider. And without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the look. All right, so first I'm taking this really small brush and dipping into the shade Roller Skates, which is this beautiful purple shimmery color. It looks like it has some blue shimmer flakes in there. And I'm just putting that right in my crease. It's perfectly fine if we're a little messy with this because we are going to clean it up later. Then I'm taking a fluffier brush and going into this pale salmon colored eyeshadow, and that's what I'm going to be using to blend that out. And then we are going to cut the crease that I do with pretty much every look that I've ever done ever. And I'm putting down the concealer and then patting it out with my finger to melt it into my skin. Then I'm taking a flat, fluffy brush and going into the shade Soul, which as you can see is a beautiful gold. And I'm wetting it with my Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray because I really want this color to pop. And as you can see, it's not popping as much as I would like it to. Even going back and packing more color with it, I even used my finger, and this is about as poppin' as I got. And then I went back in with Roller Skates to blend that out. So satisfying taking that tape off. I use the tape to make a really nice sharp line, by the way. Then I'm taking a small brush going into the shade Venice Fling, and I'm putting that in my outer V to darken it up and give my look some dimension. And then we're going back and just blending everything in together. All right, going into the shade Roller Skates again, and I'm putting that on my lower lash line. Taking this really tiny flat brush, I'm gonna go back into the shade Soul, and I'm really gonna spray it because I didn't have much hope for this showing up down here, and I just stamped it right below my lash line. Like I said earlier, this shade wasn't as poppin' as I'd like it to be, and then I just blended everything back out with the shade Roller Skates. Then I went in with my Colourpop Cream Gel Liner in the shade Piggy Bank, and that's what I used right in my waterline.
You don't actually believe a single word I'm saying, do you? Oh, sure, of course I believe you. Great. Just repeat the words I'm about to say, all right? Moon, prism, power, makeup. Right! Moon, prism, power, makeup!
Okay, so that is my look with the Venice Fling palette. If you are curious, my eyelashes are the Risque lashes from KoKo Lashes. And on my lips, I have a little combo. I have the Melt Liquid Lipstick in the shade Fuse, and then on top of that, I have the Ofra lipstick that came with the Jen Loves Reviews collaboration in the shade Refine on top. So to be completely 100% honest, I do not love this palette. I love Bailey Sarian. She is probably my favorite creator on the platform. I'm obsessed with her videos. I think she's so funny and she is so freaking talented. So it's nothing against her at all. I think the color selection in this is great. I think she did a fantastic job picking out the colors, but the way that these shades perform for me, I just wasn't a fan of. I have palettes in my collection where the formula is way better. Some shades did perform better than others, but some of them, it was so hard to work with. This particular look that I did today, I didn't have as much as a hard time with. I did try to film this video yesterday and it took me hours. Hours and hours I was playing with this palette trying to come up with something, and I'm not by any means a professional at makeup or even close to it. This is just something that I like to do for fun as a hobby. You know, someone with more experience than me might be able to have better luck with this, but for me personally, just as like your average everyday person that wears makeup, this was kind of hard for me to work with just formula wise. This shade right here, Puppy Love, which I think is so beautiful, I put it on my lid and then it just faded right off, and I had a primer underneath it. I don't know, I'll have to keep playing with it, but to be completely honest with you, I just don't think this palette is worth it. I would not purchase this again. The shimmers on their own, if you really dig in, like the shade Venice Fling, this one right here, is really pretty. I definitely see myself going back into this palette just for this shade alone. I think it's really pretty, but the mattes in here, just, they don't perform as well as I would like. And like I said, I have other palettes in my collection that I just like a lot better formula wise. It's possible I just got a dud palette and that happens, but the mattes feel so incredibly dry to the touch, like so incredibly dry. Like this shade Rose Tattoo, it feels like I'm rubbing on chalk, and then this is how it swatches. Just, not that finger swatches matter, but even on my eyes with a brush, it was like just pulling teeth trying to get it to show up on my skin nicely. But the mattes just aren't doing it for me, and that's my big complaint with this palette. Again, nothing on Bailey at all. It's just not a fan of the formula, and that's a personal preference. You might like it, and it might be like the best eyeshadow palette for you, and that's okay. It's a personal thing. No harm, no foul. All right, so that is it. That is all that I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you're gonna pick up this palette, let me know, or if you already have this palette, let me know how you like it. All right, so thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.